Yeah, thank you, Jim. And a lot of folks waiting anxiously for that after witnessing what happened last night with Marion Jones as she blazed a victory and a new Goodwill Games record of 10.90 to win the gold last night in the 100. So she'll be running the 200 in just a few moments from now. The world record held by FloJo, 21.34. Gwen Torrence has the Goodwill Games record of 22.09. And guess who's taking center stage in this one? How about Marion Jones? Absolutely right. Last night, as we pointed out, a Goodwill Games record of 10.90. Really wasn't challenged last night.
No, she wasn't challenged at all, and I didn't think she expected to be. That is Zhanna Pintusevich on the other side of her in the yellow, and Merlene Ottey trying to make a run for her, but nobody's going to touch Marion Jones.
Of course, she's coming off her performance in New Orleans, in which she won the 100 and the long jump, and this, the 200 meters, the first U.S. woman to do that in 50 years.
One thing in New Orleans, this was probably her toughest race because she was very tired. She had 3 rounds in the 100. She had already finished 2 rounds in the 200. And of course, she already had won the long jump. It was very hot and humid in New Orleans. And that was probably her toughest win. But I think she's very ready here tonight.
Also, at 36 just has to be realistic and think, I've got to beat all the other Americans in the race.
97 World Championship. She was disappointed in the 100 meters, thought she had won it, settled for silver in the 200. She just blew by Merlene Ottey down the stretch to claim the gold medal. What a strong finish for Pintusevich there, as she won the gold medal in Athens and was crowned the world champion. Of course, Marion Jones did not race that night.
No, she didn't, and Pintusevich really relaxed at the end of the race, and that's what the factor is. But again, as we go into this race, the most important thing to do is run the turn.
Let's take a look. Lane 1, Nova Peris-Kneebone of Australia. And the Kneebone connected to lane 2, which is Zundra Feagin-Alexander of the United States. Dad Al pitched for the Red Sox and the Mets. In lane 3, Beverly McDonald of Jamaica, the 1993 All-American at TCU. Her brother Michael is in the men's 400. There's Marion Jones wearing number 301. Pintusevich, as we have discussed, right next to her in lane 5. In lane 6, Yekaterina Leshcheva of Russia finished 4th at the 97 World Championships. Carlette Guidry is in lane 7, nicknamed Ms. Turbo in high school. She won the 100 at the 1990 Goodwill Games in Seattle. And in lane 8, Cheryl Taplin at LSU, a 4-time All-American in both the 100 and the 200. So when you look at it 1 through 8, anybody besides Ms. Jones and Ms. Pintusevich to watch here?
Well, I don't think so. Actually, there's no one really to watch besides Ms. Jones. You know, you go back to the national championships, and everybody was so busy running for second, they forgot to try to run for the win. You know, Marion only ran 22:24 at the national championships, and there were plenty of women in that race who could probably have challenged her, but they had already said in their mind, I can't beat her. If you want to be a great athlete, no matter where you are, you can never say that to yourself. You have to always go for the win. Marion Jones has obviously done that because that's why she is in this position right now. She is going after Florence Griffith-Joyner's world record, 21:34, as we mentioned earlier. It's a tough record to get. It's been around for 10 years, but I think she has the capabilities. It's going to have to take a special time. Perhaps tonight, perhaps not.
With Marion being so superior, what it allows us to do is really not watch the race, but watch her. Watch how she comes out of the blocks, how she makes the transition slowly to upright running.
She came out of the block so quickly last night, almost upright in the first 5 strides.
She needs to stay down in this race.
And it is a fair start. Marion Jones is in lane 4. Pintusevich in lane 5. And Marion Jones has already passed her. They come to the head of the stretch, 100 meters to go. And it's Marion Jones in the red, white, and blue, well out in front. Pintusevich is second. Marion Jones seeming now to just scale it down and cross the line, breezing to the gold in the 200 meters.
An excellent run. And you say you think she was scaling it down. Well, let me tell you something. When you get at 150 meters and 200 meters, it's called rigor mortis is starting to set in. At that point, you know, you're carrying that piano and they're throwing other stuff on you when you're running down there. Your most important thing at that point is to relax, and that's what she has to do.
If that was a piano, that was a baby grand, because I'm telling you, you, she's still moving pretty good, 21.80.
She is moving very well. Again, the key in the 200 meters, you've got to get out fast. Right now, she is about to pass the world champion from last year. She has already eaten her up maybe 50 meters into the race. She is already in command. Right now, she is looking towards the end of the straightaway. Right now, the most important thing for her to do is to relax.
The thing
Marty, that was what you wanted. Just watch her. There you go.
The thing that's important for the future, though, is once they got to 100 meters to go, you would think some of the older runners who might be stronger might get back some of this lead, but she was still pulling away. You said the world champion last year. That was last year. This year, and if she stays healthy next year, she's just going to keep pulling away.
She makes it look easy once again. Marion Jones wins the 200. She's with our man Craig.
Well, Marion, last night you set a Goodwill Games record and you win the 100. Tonight you breeze away from everybody else in the 200. Talk about the difference in the two races and how you were so smooth here this evening.
Yeah, well, I had a little motivation. I had some competitors saying that they were going to be all up in it. So I decided to, let's see if they really were going to be all up in it. So I'm just excited to come here and beat the competition handily like I did.
No trash talking at the start, huh? From whom?
No, it was not before the start, you know, last couple of weeks. But, you know, I work good with pressure, so I showed it today.
You like to live up to the expectations.
Yeah.
How do you now work at your schedule? When you look at the 100, the 200, and the long jump, which you also want to compete in next year, how are you going to schedule all your different training schedules and your schedule for performances and competitions?
Yeah, well, I think I have a wonderful coach, Trevor Graham, who sits down with me and we'll plan out which meets we're going to run in and which we're going to jump in. So.
The Goodwill Games records have fallen. Will the world records fall at the feet of Marion Jones?
Hopefully before my career's over.
Right,
yeah, real quick, I want to say hi to Tiffany back home and hi to Bernadine and Janelle. Thank you.
Zach Turney.
I tell you what, they're learning now. There's another MJ out of North Carolina you don't talk trash to, and here's another one, Marion Jones, running with an edge tonight and winning the women's 200 meters.